Trapping is an American pastime, one of America's oldest traditions that helped drive Western expansion, an immutable characteristic of outdoorsmen across the nation, and one of the most effective methods of wildlife conservation on the planet. This video contains graphic images and may not be suitable for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
All right, folks, welcome back to Dominion Predator Controls Down the Line. On the 10th episode today, we're going to deal with a little bit of everything. We pretty much got a mixed bag. We got dogs, cats, possums, and coons, so let's get at it. All right, folks. This is check day 57. No. Check day 58. Yesterday was check day 57. And get out of that turd, don't ruin that turd. This was check day 57 yesterday, and I caught those two juveniles, and this appears to be the mother. I knew I didn't mess with these traps. I had four traps in here. 3 of them are trench sets. One of them is a cat set with a CD hanging, and I actually had a camera set up over it for about 4 or 5 days, and I'd seen a lot of turds in the area, and I knew that that trail that runs through this brush right here behind us to the east was an active spot for cats. And I set around it. I set a couple spots over there, and that trap at the end of the trail, and then I set 2 traps over here. And yesterday we picked up the 2 juveniles, twins, and I knew that if I left the set alone that I'd probably pick up their mother real quick. So I'll need to, flip this thing over to find out for sure whether it's Tom or Queen, but I knew that the scent from those 2 juveniles would bring in a lot of cats. So once again, I'm not going to do anything to this set except for put the trap back in the ground and move a couple of these turds right there where everything happened at. And that's going to be the remake. It's going to be that simple. There's going to be no need to, add any more lure to it or anything. These cat sets will just keep producing cats as long as there's cats around to step in them. So we'll have to go around the corner here in a minute and see if there's another one there. You can tell this cat's pretty small. It's not a big cat. But it's not, I won't know for sure until I get it up on the scale and check it out, but it definitely looks older than the 2 that we caught yesterday. It's just not a big cat. Sometimes they don't grow too big. The bigger ones around here are 30, maybe 32, 34 pounds. You'll see, I think I've caught one that was 32. I've never caught one bigger. I've caught ones that look bigger, but they weren't, so. At the end of the day, it is what it is. So we're gonna get this cat out of here, try and get her off that turd so she doesn't tear it up anymore, and she already has. And that's cat number 16 that I've caught on check day 58, and it'll be the 12th cat I've harvested. So awesome. We'll get back and rehab the Red Ranger and move on down the line. All right, folks. Still a little dark out. This is the 8th trap, 7th and 8th trap, 4th set location that I checked. And we got this coyote in it. So it's been pretty wild. So we had that We had that female, I believe to be the parent of those 2 juveniles that I caught yesterday. And then now we've got this dog here in a set that I have set up on this trail. And this trail runs right down in here past the creek. And I've caught 2 dogs in this trap right here. I normally don't put my traps to get this close together. That's, I don't know, 8 foot, 6, 8 foot, 10 foot maybe max. And I rarely do that. I usually keep them further apart than that, but I still put 2 at every location. And this dog's the first one to get in this set. I had a Glandler set here on a tuft of grass, which is now gone. And it had Cletus Richards' bobcat gland in it, and some of Liesl Rousseau's bobcat urine, and a little bit of nightcat, I think. So it was set up to be a little post set, and this gyp smells real bad. I'm wondering if she's starting to go into heat because she stinks real good. So I'll have to take a look, see what we got going on, and get this gyp out of here. And you can see the sun starting to come up, but you're probably not going to pick up a lot of light on that camera. So we'll get this set taken care of and get this dog out of here, and we'll move on down the line. Well, this is never what you want to see. A coon plugging up a cat set. Well, folks, we got us a pretty decent sized coon. This was a cubby set that I had set for cats with some cat glandler in it and some rubbler to try and get them rubbing that post and get in there and play around with that cubby. And I put 2 DPs in here close by on this trail to try and avert this exact situation, but apparently that's not always the case. It looks like coons are looking for cat gland just like the coyotes are right now. It's an interesting color phase on the coon. See if I can get over here so you can see it a little better. Got that really light looking part of the face. I caught another coon very similar to this in the same property, about a mile, half mile that way. So we got us this coon, and I'm going to dispatch this coon the same way I dispatch all the other animals except for skunks, and that's with Lee Steinmeier's Death Ray. It worked real good. Silent dispatch method. You can use it for inner city dispatch on predators if you have the chance. Cats, obviously, you don't need something like this. You can just put a choke pull around them and choke them out and they're done. But coons like to fight, so we're going to have to take this coon and keep it from messing up any more cubby sets. But more importantly, the reason why we take out coons and possums is to keep them from destroying the turkey population. Everybody loves to talk about how possums eat ticks. Leave them alone. But that's just propaganda. Possums eat turkeys, and turkeys eat 10,000 times more ticks than a possum does in their life. So save the turkeys, kill the possums, kill the coons, and you'll have less ticks. We're going to get this coon dispatched, get this set remade, and move on down the line. All right, folks. I wanted to give you a play-by-play set remake, and this isn't the remake. This is actually how I originally made this set before it caught that coon. And of course, you know, I bed the trap, do everything like I normally would. You can see the trap rocked a little bit there whenever I first started messing with it, and I had to really kind of stick some dirt back in there to make sure it wouldn't go anywhere. There was a root that was coming off of that beaver cut tree that was giving me a problem. But I got it all set up, blended in pretty good, and then you can see I just kind of built this cubby. Tried to close it off a little bit on the front end, make sure my hole's right there at the base of that beaver cut tree. And then bring in all these different sticks and this wood pile I collected to be able to build up this cubby. One thing about cubbies is if you got coons in the area, you're going to catch them. I like to put DPs down close in the trails and areas near to where I set cat traps like this. And a good way to keep from destroying your cubby whenever you have a cat caught in a trap like this would be to use a drag. But that's basically how I set it up. I think I end up using 3 lures. I put a rub lure, which is going to be the Pecos Valley up there high about nose level. I do that same thing with just about every time I use it. And then I put gland lure in there close towards the base. Sometimes I bring in a turd, sometimes I don't. And then a little bit of urine, and then it's good to go. Well, shoot. All non-targets today. I caught 2 coyotes in this set already. But today I got a possum plugging it up. I had 2 domestics. I already said that, but I had 2 domestics. And I wasn't able to remake the sets because I couldn't get them to leave the area. So I got 2 sets flipped off that I can't remake. Not till tomorrow. And then I had a coon plugging up a cat set. And now I've got a possum plugging up another cat set. But I've only caught coyotes on it so far, so it is what it is. So I'm going to get this possum dispatched and out of here and remake this set. What do we got, girls?
Coyote.
Yes, we do. All right, girls, what do we got?
A coyote.
What number coyote is this?
2.
Can you say 45?
45.
That's right. This coyote number 45 on check day 62, I believe it is. This is the second time I've caught a coyote in this trap in the last 4 days. And those are the first 2 animals I caught in this trap the entire 58 days they were in the ground.
Whoa,
So these traps are in the ground for 54 days before they even made a catch, and now I've had 2 coyotes in a row in them. So I think it's a big male. I know that, and we got a dead pile not too far from here. It's probably not in the shot, but it's definitely right here, real close. It's got a couple of coyotes in it, a couple of cat carcasses and beaver carcasses. So we're going to get this coyote taken care of. I had a flat set in here in this trail that runs right through the middle of this catch circle, and it was a double threat set. I put gland lure of 2 different types of animals in there. The first time I did it, it was wolf gland lure and coyote gland lure, and now the second time I just reset it the other day after that catch, it was coyote gland lure and bobcat gland lure. So they had this coyote in here digging around until he got caught. And we're going to get this taken care of. Girls, calm down. We're going to get this taken care of, and we're going to move on down the line. All right, folks. Here's the remake on that set. Got that coyote there in the death ray. And you can see I've got a couple of rocks there. I only rebaited it with 1 gland lure. I just use some of Andy Weiser's bobcat gland lure there on the rock and inside that hole, and put some urine on it. And I kind of cleared the dirt out in a way where the trail kind of still exists. But you can see that there's a pretty defined trail that comes all the way up from this nice pond in here. And we've got that coyote sitting there, and then right on the other side of the coyote you can see how the 2 trails kind of split off. And right on the other side over here, you can see I have that rock right there. I got another trap. There's a catch circle there from some other animals that I caught. It looks like there's been some prints in there, so it looks like some animals have been in there. I just didn't catch them. But I've got this trap in here, and the trap's right about there, just about 9-10 inches from that hole. And that's really good for coyotes, and maybe a little bit short for cats, but it'll work for big cats too. Right now the males are on the move. It looks like the females are going to go into estrus soon, and some places just north of me have already done it. So me and the girls are going to get back here and rehab the Red Ranger. We're going to get coyote number 45 loaded up, and we're going to head back and check the rest of our traps. We'll see y'all down the line. All right, folks, for today's product placement, we're going to talk a little bit about Adrian Romero and his fine art and some of his trapline ragwear, his trap hedge trapline ragwear that you can purchase And I'll show you some of the stuff I got, and show you some slides and images of some of the stuff that he's done. And I'll make sure to post links and everything in the comments below or in the description below, so you can go check it out for yourself. So you can see here, this awesome shirt that I got on is definitely one of Adrian's newer shirts that I got last season. And I've got a lot of his hats. I only brought one of the hats out, but you can see a lot of his gear is aimed at, you know, pro America and pro trapping, which is a really great thing. And if you want to look good on the line, the best way to do it is to be wearing some of Adrian's good stuff. This is the original Trapheads Ragwear shirt that I got, and I still got it. It's been around for years, but it's a good one. And I think you can get similar shirts like this on his websites. He's got a handful of different shirts, including the ones where he's done the artwork with Hugh Glass on it. And he doesn't just make clothes, he makes some really great art. And some of the art that you'll see, you can find on his Facebook or find on his website, Adrian Romero Fine Art. And he's done great art of great trappers, you know, Gary Jepson, Wayne Derrick, one of my favorites. And just some very incredible, detailed, you know, Western style trapline art that a lot of folks are into these days. And this is one of my favorite shirts that I got, and I got this at a trapping convention. And if you read it, you can see why. We were doing a trapping convention, even though most people were shut down. And that's an awesome shirt right there. I wear that all the time. This other shirt is another shirt I got recently, and I like this one a lot. It's a lot like the one I'm wearing, but a little bit better, a little brighter. It's got a trap on it right there. Got your good long spring trap over an American flag. And then one of my favorite shirts that he ever made is this one for the OFBA, the Oklahoma Fur Bearers Alliance, which is the trapping organization in the state of Oklahoma that I've been part of since 2017. And going to the events at the Oklahoma Fur Bearers Alliance is how I met Adrian, and how I met Wayne Derrick, and how I met Lee Steinmeier, and how I met a lot of the great trappers that I'll talk about in the show when they'd come there to set up booths and to sell products and to do demos. And if you're starting out in trapping, or trapping something that you're not, you know, you don't know a lot of the trappers in the area, the best way to get to know them is to go and meet them at the events that you have in your state. Each state has an organization, some of them have more than one, where you can go and you can meet trappers, you can see demos, you can buy trap gear, anything you need for the season. Mainly it's about information and sharing information with the youth and other people who don't really know a lot about it. So if you're new into trapping, the best way to really get started is to go to your local trapping organization, join it, start getting the magazines and the information that they send out monthly, and go into their events. Usually they'll have an event in the fall. They call it a fall rendezvous or a fall Rondy. And then they're going to have an event in the spring. And a lot of times they have a fur sale in the spring. And sometimes they do other events. You'll just have to talk with your local group and your local organizations to find out which event's going to be best for you. Adrian doesn't just make t-shirts and hats and art, but he also makes hoodies. And anytime it's deer gun season or black powder season, I'm out trapping, I always wear this hoodie. And then I've got the hoodie that goes with that shirt that I showed you a little while ago, the Hugh Glass with the bear tearing through the shirt. And that's just a really great piece of art right there. I really respect Adrian. He's answered a lot of communications with me whenever it came to Instagram or Facebook. He's always been really kind and upfront, and he's just a really great guy to talk to. The first time I'd heard of Adrian was on the Hoosier Trapper Outdoor Show, whenever they had started doing some trapping down in New Mexico, and Adrian was their contact down there, and the guy that they went down there with, and they toured around, you know, the New Mexico and trapped with him down there. And I think they've done it multiple seasons, not just the 1 or 2 seasons that I've seen where they've done it, but I know they've done it multiple times. And he's a great guy, great trapper. He's got a family. He works hard. He does some incredible artwork. And if you're interested in good trapline art or good Western art or anything that's trapline related when it comes to clothing, Adrian Romero's Fine Art is the place to be. I'll make sure to post the links below, like I said, so you guys can check it out. And let's get back at trapping. Well, look at that. I put 4 traps in this 40 acres yesterday, and every one of them was snapped off. This one has a coyote in it. Interesting looking coyote. You can look at the underfur. Look at the underfur on those dogs, and it's almost completely gone. We had one warm spell. Look at the back. Look at those, the fighting they're doing. I had a dog that's still on my truck that I caught last night. I had to gland out. And see that hole in the back? See how the back's all chewed up? They've been fighting hard. They're rutting hard. So there's a dog. And then we might as well call these the Ken Smith double, because these seems to be the doubles I get anywhere I go. Possum doubled up with something else. This is coyote number 45. And nope, this is coyote number 46. Yesterday was coyote number 45, check day 61. And today's actually check day 62. I'd said yesterday that it was 62, and I have a hard time keeping up my notes. So, but take notes if you can. Make sure you have notes and you know what lures you're using, and you're not overusing anything. But this is a front left paw catch and a Duke 650. I had set these for cats, even though it was 650. It's a little big for small cats, but it's perfect for bigger cats. And this is a really beautiful coyote. It's got white and gray with black all through the back and a little bit around the face. And it's got blonde back legs. And then it's got some red on the front. And it looks like the breastplate is blonde a little bit, with black stripes down the front legs. I really wish I'd have caught this coyote December 5th, December 10th. Before their shoulders start to slip out. Now that we've gotten this heat for so long, and they're so busy moving into the breeding season, that their underfur is all but completely gone. So that's a wild thing. That's never happened, early January. Anytime that I've trapped in the past, it's never been that bad. Usually it was just rubbed out shoulders, but now it looks like they're thinning out so bad they're almost springtime coyotes. Then they get real stringy late spring and into summer, and then they look really bad. But this one has, just like the coyote I caught yesterday, this one has big holes in its back, and big bloody holes in its back from fighting, because they're going into their mating season. So it looks like a gyp, but I can't tell for sure. The one I caught yesterday was a male. He had holes in his back. The gyp I caught a few days back, she was spotting already, so they're definitely going into season. And she didn't have any wounds on her back. She had some wounds on the inside of her legs, but not on her back. So it might be a male. We won't know until we dispatch it and find out. But this was a set that you can see all the wood I got scattered around here maybe. And I had this set up and blocked off real good. It was kind of like a flat cubby. It wasn't built up real tall like on the base of a tree like you would see a lot of cubbies, but there's a lot of dead wood back here. So I built this up pretty good and boxed it off in a little square, so I didn't expect to catch a coyote in it. But it goes for, it goes to show what conventional knowledge is. A lot of times you block off traps so you can get the cats and keep the coyotes out of it, and sure enough, I got a coyote sitting in it anyway. So it was some of Cletus Richards' bobcat gland lure and a little bit of Rooswatt's bobcat urine, some of his private stock bobcat urine. That's pretty much the only bobcat urine I buy. I'm not saying there's not other bobcat urines that are good. I'm sure there is, but I haven't used a whole lot of them. And I've used a handful of different coyote urines, and I prefer Lee's urine if I can help it. It's more expensive than the rest, but it works damn good. So this coyote, number 46 on check day 62. I think I got my numbers right. And it was just in a flat set that was kind of enclosed in, kind of like a cubby. And this dog fell to it. The catch is kind of foul. It's kind of in the edge of the trap, but those 650s have a really big pan, so that coyote put enough weight down on the side of that pan and got its left paw in there, but it was kind of foul. That coyote was trying to tiptoe in there and see what was going on. But that 650 held. So even though it's only a half pad catch and it's kind of stuck in the side of that jaw, it's center swiveled, and it didn't matter how much damage this coyote tried to do. It's done. It's caught. So we're going to get this dog out of here and move on down the line. I've got almost 60 traps left to check. I put 4 traps in this 40 acres yesterday. All 4 of them were snapped off. One of them had a rabbit foot in it, with the rabbit missing. Undoubtedly a coyote or a cat came by and took it. One of them was flipped off and a skunk had got out of it and skunked up one of my sets real good. And then this one over here's got a possum in it, and this one's got a coyote. So this, you can tell that this little 40 acres ain't been trapped in a long time. And I added 2 more sets in over there. One of them was a cage, and that cage is going to be a deadly spot, I think. So we should see a lot of action in there. Probably coons for the first few nights, but we should start seeing a lot of action in there over the next week or 2. So I'm going to get this coyote taken care of, and we're going to move on down the line. Calm down. Calm down there, doggy. Alright folks, here's a remake. This is very similar to how I had it set up yesterday when I set it. But the first night catch on this dog, he got into she got into a trap that was pretty similar to this. Now, typically when you're trapping dogs, you don't want to put this kind of guiding around for a dog because you're going to miss more than you catch. But the stuff I had in here was just strong enough to keep that dog going. So now that I've got it all set up, I use the same sticks that were here, and they're kind of chewed up a little bit more than they were, but the catch circle's full of urine and scat and the glandler and everything that I had in there in the first place. So now this is going to be a hot set for everything. So I'm probably going to see a cat in this set at some point. It just hadn't happened yet, but that's the finished remake on that cat set that caught a dog the first night. Well folks, look what we got here. We got us another big tom. Another good big tom. Not really sure what the best spot is with that camera. That's probably pretty good. The light, the buggy light's not nearly as good as it could be. But you can see there that we've got us a biggin. I don't know how close I can get. It's probably the best spot for me. I don't know if the light helps at all. But this is cat number, number 18. The 13th I've harvested. I've released 5 others. And it's got a rabbit back, but it's fully furred. And they're really starting to chase hard, so the big toms are coming out, and we're going to start seeing a lot more of them. So this will be the 13th I've harvested, which means I only can catch 7 more before the season's up. And this was a cat set made for cats with a cat turd in it, Wayne Derrick's Super Cat, Andy Weiser's Super Cat up high, and Pecos Valley. And that's what was in here. I've caught 2 coons and a possum in this set already. And they tore it up real good, but they didn't tear it up as good as this cat did. That cat really did damage to it. So it'll make a really good cat set for the next week or 2. I'm glad to get to remake it because it just rained. So yesterday I came in here and I had a cat print, a cat track, about 1.5 inches away from the pan. And it was smaller. It was a smaller cat track. And I was sure I was going to catch a cat in it soon if that cat didn't come back. But it wasn't this cat because this is a much bigger cat than that track I saw in there. So that's good. This will probably go 28 plus on the scale. And you can see he's a little violent. He's back foot caught, full pad catch almost. I guess he was coming in here sniffing, about to figure out whether he was gonna rub or piss or whatever. But we got a good cat here. Sorry for the noise because the buggy. Check day number 62, cat number 18, the 13th I've harvested in a cat set. Pretty killer. So we'll get this cat taken care of and move on down the line. Alright folks, there's that cat I caught. Ended up being a queen, not a tom, but it's huge, so it's at least 26 plus. And you can see my little Tupperwares there that I used to hold on to turds. But there's the post, and here's the set. And you can see at the top there where the post plants in the ground, I've got some of the fresh turds from this cat. And it pissed real bad whenever I put the choke pole on it, so I just moved the rear end of it right over there by it, and I forgot that whenever I got done making the set. I put some of my own urine on it already, so I got 2 urines in there now. One of them smells like this queen, and the other one smells like whatever comes in Rooswatt's private stock. But you can see the guiding that I have in there, the dry dirt that I've got in the ground. It rained pretty good this morning, so everything's pretty soaked and muddy. And I've got that trap set in there basically the same way I did, but I've got a lot more guiding in on it to kind of keep other kind of critters out. But on the post there, you can see there's a dark spot at the bottom where the urine is. That's also where the glandler went as it went onto the turd and then went down into the hole. The dark spot above that is the Pecos Valley, kind of at nose level is what I like to do with that, to rub level so they can rub their head on it. And then at the top of that post I've got some Super Cat, some of Andy Weiser's Super Cat, which is that skunky call lure that's a lion and rubbler, or lion and bobcat rubbler. So I like to use that. I use those 3 a lot whenever I'm making sets for cats. I've got other change ups I can use, but those really work well. And this cat set's been here, I don't know, 3 weeks. And like I said, I've caught 2 coons, a possum, and now this. Actually, I caught 2 possums, 2 coons, and this cat. So, well folks, it's about 6:30 in the morning. Got a big rain and winter storm coming. I'm about maybe 40 minutes ahead of the rain right now. And of course it was warm enough to get these little bears moving. So hopefully this is the only coon I got today, but I'll probably have more than this one if I had to guess. And I'm not going to bother remaking the set right now. Any set that gets flipped off today, we got, they're saying anywhere from 2 inches of rain to maybe 3 to 6 inches of snow. I don't buy it, but they say it's coming. A lot of talk about what's going to happen. We got this really crazy winter storm. It's going to be real slow moving, pull right through the state, and we're in one of the best places to get a lot of snow. Good looking coon. So we'll get this thing taken care of and get back down the line. I think this is check day 68. This is probably the 20th coon I've caught. I'm not really targeting coons, so I hadn't caught a ton of them. But I did catch a coon over here in this trap just well, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. I've caught 2 or 3 coons in this trap, but this trap finally connected on a real nice cat about a week ago, 5 days ago, 6 days ago, and it was a good time. We're in a good spot, but might have to pull out of here. I hate pulling areas where I catch cats. I like cat sets to stay in for as long as I can have them, but when that happens, you catch a lot of coons too. Catch a good female cat in the set, and then you just leave it in there, and it's going to be some tom that comes through smelling all that female. So that's what I like to do, but I better get this coon taken care of and get on down the road before I get too wet. So we'll take care of this and move on. Till then, Dominion out. Well, folks, thanks for watching. This was episode 10, and it's now in the books. I pray that you'll continue to follow us down the line. I thought I was going to have 10 to 12 episodes, but it looks like it's going to be more like 14 to 16 episodes. And I'll get all of that worked out and have it all out. We're putting out 2 episodes a week from what I've started doing. It's going to be on Thursdays and Mondays is whenever these episodes come out. And I'll continue to put out videos throughout the time that we're putting the episodes out. And also, as I go through the entire trap season, I'll be putting out a vlog that kind of shows you what I'm doing and keeps videos going. So I appreciate you guys following me along. I'll see you next time on Down the Line. And until then, Dominion out.